going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hope that you're enjoying your weekend. Today I've got a magic app review for you. I'm taking a look at Timed Out by Marc Kerstein. Now, it's been about a year since I did my last magic app review, and you're probably familiar with Marc Kerstein as he did create and put out Wikitest, which became popular after it was featured in a David Blaine special. Now, this app, Timed Out, was put out about a month ago. I've been road testing it for the past 3 weeks, getting really good reactions with it. It's fully customizable. It will allow you to predict either a drawing or a photo in your photo reel or as part of a photo album to your spectators. The best part about it is it feels completely hands-off. You put your phone in their hands and then you seemingly don't touch it anymore, which is really great. As usual, I'm going to try to answer those questions that you guys have about this, give you a good idea of what this is, then do a comparison with another app, which is probably the closest thing to this, give you guys my rating and some final thoughts. So as of the date of this review, this app is still 100% free to download and use, which is just crazy because it's probably worth at least $5 for what you're getting, especially the reactions you're going to get from it. It's only for the iPhone, so if you're an Android user, maybe you better switch to iPhone or just wait and see if it is ever released for the Android phone. It is language independent, which is great. In terms of learning how to use it, customize it, and tweak it, it'll take you less than 10 minutes. There is some video instruction that's included as well, which is great. Again, I'm really amazed that this was completely free. Let me show you guys what it looks like, okay? You're gonna take your phone, you're gonna say to the spectator, check this out. Hold out your hand for a minute. I'm gonna give you my phone. So you tell them, and here's how I've been performing this. I'll tell them, I took a photo of a patient that I had yesterday of their condition, and I wanna see if you can read my mind and figure out what it is, okay? I'm gonna give you some options. It's either a brain tumor, an abnormal EKG, lung cancer, a hematoma from an accident, or rectal cancer. So those are your options. Now I'm going to concentrate. I'm sending it to you now. What do you think it is? So maybe they say, I don't know, rectal cancer. So when they turn over the phone, you have them open up the photo reel and they can go to your photos and they'll see that the last photo is an image, in my case, of someone that has rectal cancer, and they'll see that it's dated from yesterday. That's the best part about it, because you can have this dated 1, 2, 3 days before, however many you want. So that's the way that I've been performing this, because it really is in your photo reel too. I'm going to delete it now. And it really feels legit in that way. Now I'm going to show you the other way that you can perform this, where you can do it again and again if you want to. So here's the other way that you can perform it, where you say, I'm going to open up this album on my photos, and you show it to them and you say, look, I've got 5 images here, all different medical conditions, and I want you to concentrate on one of those. So the person's going to think of one, and then you can say, okay, now imagine sending it to me mentally. So what I'm going to do is this, I'm going to choose one of these, right? And then you have them hold out their hand, you put it back in their hand again, and you ask them, which one do you think it is? Maybe this time they say the EKG. When they turn it over, they'll see that it's the abnormal EKG. Now what's good about this is that you could say, maybe you think I just got lucky. Let's try again. So you say, look, back here again, concentrate on another image. You can even go with the same one again if you want to try to fake me out, but concentrate on one. All right, imagine sending it to me. I'm gonna go with, I think I'm gonna go with this. Again, you have them hold out their hand, you put it in their hand, they can name any one of those images. Let's say that this time, maybe for argument's sake, they go with the brain tumor, right? So then when they turn it over, you can show them that it is indeed the brain tumor. So you guys can see how I've tweaked this to be more of a medical type effect because of the environment that I work in, but you can have it anything you want. In terms of the presets, it comes with some different presets, like for instance, there's a preset where, like with numbers, where you tell them that you're gonna draw a number here on the pad, and then again, it's the same exact kind of thing, where when they turn it over, it will say you will pick and whatever number that they selected, right? In that case, that's one of the presets. There's another one with ESP. There's an ESP grid that looks like this. They're just standard ESP ones. And then there's another version where it's actually drawn on a pad, the ESP sign. And then there's also a nice one with dice. I'm going to show you guys what the dice one looks like. So again, it's the usual. You're going to put it in their hand and you tell them to imagine rolling a dice. You say, imagine rolling a dice. What number did you get? So let's say that they said, I don't know, let's say that they said 6, for instance. You have them turn it over and you tell them open up the photos. They open up the photos and they'll be able to see that there is a photo of a die that has been rolled number 6. Okay. So it looks great, doesn't it? I mean, for all intents and purposes, you're able to predict something that somebody just merely thought of. So what are really the limitations of this? Like what is the things that are bad about the app? I would say that the real limitations is that, one, you can only really predict 1 out of 5 objects or 1 out of 6 because that's the maximum. And when you see the method, you'll understand why, because you're getting a visual cue. And because of that, you have to kind of wait for that option to come back again based on what they choose. So any more than 6 objects there'd be a massive time delay in your presentation. I found from road testing this that 5 objects was just right. You'll also notice when you get this that the time delay is automatically set to, I think, 2.5 seconds, but I found road testing it that 1.5 seconds is just right. That's the right time delay. And then the only real big limitation of this app, other than that, is because it's a visual cue, you're going to have a problem performing this outdoors. You cannot do this outdoors. It can only be done indoors. And if you're like me, where you have like a phone case, then it's going to be very difficult to perform in a very well lit area. So if you're performing this in a place that's a little bit darker, then it'll be easy to perform with the case, or you may have to take off your phone case to perform it because, again, it is a visual cue. And that is kind of an original thing of this app. But those are really the real cons of this. Again, the pros, like I said, is that 1, it's free. 2, it's fully customizable. 3, there's multiple ways to perform it. And 4, once you put it in their hands, you don't touch your phone anymore. So let's take a look at another app, which is probably the closest thing to this that you guys may be interested in picking up as well. All right, let's take a look at another app that you may be interested in checking out because it's extremely similar to Timed Out, and that is Greg Rostami's iForce. Now, I've been using it for almost 10 years now. You can still pick it up for $3. It is supported by Apple and Android and will allow you to make a prediction of up to 8 different options or outs, which is great. It is completely customizable, but it really only supports you drawing on a drawing app. It's not really for photos. So here's what it looks like. You tell the spectator that you've got this drawing app called Doodle. You're probably familiar with it, and you can let them draw on it. And I'm going to show you guys one of the presets that I created myself because it is customizable. I tell a spectator that I say, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to write the name of a continent. So you tell them that you're going to write the name of a continent, and then you put it on the table and you ask them to name any continent. Let's say, for instance, that they name Asia, right? So then you turn it over and you say, that's exactly what I wrote, Asia. That's what it looks like. That's what the effect looks like. Now I'm going to show you guys the discrepancy that I've had with it, and we're going to actually use the preset that I created, which was colors. I think that that's a good preset. And so the discrepancy is as follows, that you tell the spectator that you're going to write the name of a color here, and then you tell them that you're going to escape out of the app. You put it on the table, you have them name any color. So let's say, for instance, for argument's sake, let's just say they name brown, for instance, right? Then when I turn over the phone, I tell them, here, open up the app. Now you will notice that there's this black line on the bottom, and that's because that's from the old iOS. Unfortunately, it has not been updated. That's the discrepancy. It would probably still fly though. And what you do is you have them scroll over and open up the Doodle app. When they open it, they're going to see that you wrote brown. And so there's that extra layer where you've closed the app, like as an extra convincer. It doesn't really mean much, but it's just there. Again, like I said to you guys, there's all kinds of presets here. It's definitely worth $3 if you're looking for something that you can use like that. It's extremely similar to Timed Out, which is why I mention it here for you guys. Anyway, let's get into the rating of Timed Out. Here's the rating, and as you guys can see, I rated this pretty highly for originality. I rated it as 4 out of 5, and that's because I think that it's a very interesting concept, and I think the method is very original. I haven't seen any other magic apps that use this visual cue as the method. In terms of practicality, I would rate this as 3 out of 5 because I think you have to have the right lighting conditions, and you may not be able to perform it with your phone case on if you have a problem with vision. In terms of app complexity and the learning curve, I would rate this, as you can see, as 5 out of 5 because I think you're going to learn it instantly, and there's some really good video tutorial that is included with it. For versatility, I would rate this as 4 out of 5 because there's a lot of things that you can customize yourself, and I really like the options of having it so that way it looks like the prediction you made 1, 2, 3 days ago. It's up to your preferences, and the best part is that you can use your own photos and you can perform it in more than just one way. In terms of compared to other apps, I would rate it as 4 out of 5 because I think it's just as good as similar apps like iForce, with the exception that you only have 5 or 6 choices instead of 8, but you do get the other advantage that you can use your own photos, which you can't do that with iForce. In terms of price, I would rate this as 5 out of 5 because it is free. You really can't beat it for that reason. So this gives us a final score of 4.17 out of 5. Highly favorable. I highly recommend that you guys go and check it out because it is completely free. You're going to get really good reactions with it, and it feels completely hands-off once you put your phone in your spectator's hands. I think with just a little bit of practice, you will figure out really quickly the right lighting conditions for you to use this. And the best part is that you can customize this for your environment and for your performance style. Anyway, that's what I wanted to tell you guys about this magic app. If you guys have any questions or comments, just leave them for me below. I would highly urge you to go and grab this while it's still free. Anyway, thanks so much guys for tuning into my magic reviews, and I'll see you on the next one.